starts flashing, just give me a second just to check make sure it's not someone calling to talk to us about our car's extended warranty. Because they will call us live.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yes, and so yeah, because if it's an actual phoner, then if it's a phoner ready to talk, I'll do this right here. I'll do this right here, and you're like, okay, we're gonna go to the phones. We gotta call it, you know.
All right.
Because also, what I'm gonna do quietly is I'm gonna KAZI. Okay, you guys are all right, cool. Now put them on hold, put them into the system, and then I'll do this, you know. And the minute they're done saying what they're saying, if you say, thank you, caller, that's a good point, and then you elaborate, and then you say thank you, caller, I'm disconnecting them and moving them on.
Okay.
Yeah. And they'll hear it in 40-second delay on the other side. So they're not going to miss what you had to say.
Yeah. All right.
Check you out on that side.
Hey y'all, what's up?
Okay, yeah.
Get in here. I'm so nervous, I'm so scared.
So,
I don't know why the lights are so bright in here. Oh my God. We going on, y'all. Share this. Get out there, share this. Get in here, tag a friend. Good morning. I am here, your new co-host for the Iron Sharpens Iron Show on KAZI 88.7. I'm super excited. We got 5 minutes before we go live. Let's share.
So this right here is on 2.
I'm super excited, y'all. Super excited.
So yeah, if I was to lower down 2, then it wouldn't play.
Let's see, share. Get in here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Main 3 is
good morning.
Kind of like an off-channel one that we have. We rarely ever use it. DJ Mixer.
Share. Wake up. It's so early. Good. Like that. They tried to get me. Y'all see? Okay. They're trying to set me up. Make sure we set up. We good. Good morning, Mama Julio. Shout out to them boys. Good morning. Thank you. I'm excited to be here. y'all. We just gonna talk. We just gonna talk it out. And I think I'm gonna be straight. We gonna be straight. I think we're gonna have a good show, a good time today. And guess what? He don't gotta adjust my mic, cause you know I'm soft spoken. You know we ain't gonna call out no names. Happy birthday out there. You know. I'm excited.
Whenever I do a fade and go.
Get ready. The call-in number is 512-836-2887, y'all. 512-836-2887.
2 minutes, stand by.
It goes by so fast.
Yeah, it sure does.
I don't have nothing to fidget with. I need somebody send me a fidget spinner. I'm excited. What's going down in here? Here.
45 seconds.
But anyway, like I said, I guess that concludes our show today. It was a pleasure chatting with you, Mr. Thang. And also our great
30 seconds.
Listening in. Hey, tune in next week. We love you. But you can catch us online. Great Vibes Talk.
I classed 9 seconds. I'm at 15 seconds left.
Until next week, yeah.
The views and opinions throughout KAZI's broadcast day are not necessarily the views or opinions of KAZI's board, staff, underwriters, or volunteers.
Stand by.
This is the Iron Sharpens
Get them like so.
Stand by for fight count. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, KZI listeners. This is Tiffany Washington, and we are in the building. What is going on? Good morning. Good morning. We are here with the Iron Sharpens Iron show. Y'all, I'm so excited. Not only am I excited, but I'm super nervous, but we're going to get through this. You're tuned in with myself, Farmer Nancy, as your host. Latrice Cook takes a very well-deserved break from the air. I'm going to be here as your new co-host until her return. Y'all, make sure y'all call in and talk to me. Let's talk about it. The number is 512-836-2887. That's the number. Let's call in. Let's call in. So we also want to wish Latrice a very, very happy birthday. Happy birthday, Latrice. Woo! We hope that you are enjoying your vacation. We hope that you get the rest that you deserve because we value you. We appreciate you and we love you, you guys. Again, I'm super excited to be here this morning to bring you our announcements and news. So the Iron Sharpens Iron show is all about resources, people, places, and things that are associated with the prison system in some way. And how or what we as a community can do to make change for the better in these people's lives, right? There's no man left behind. We don't want to leave anybody behind. So that's why we're here on the show to talk about it. So as I've said, I'm super excited to be here. It's an amazing opportunity to speak about agriculture and our local food system. What's going on with the food? We want to talk about the food. I want to definitely reintroduce myself as Farmer Nancy. Latrice called me out by my government name. I just want to put that out there. But nobody is out here calling Batman Bruce. So we're just gonna keep that the way it is. It's your girl Farmer Nancy, and we in this thing. So 512-836-2887 is the number. And we're gonna go over some topics today, y'all. You know, just revisit my inspiration for farming and why I'm here. You know, we talked about last time, our very first time on the air with Latrice, that I'm inspired through family. Family is the reason that I farm. I'm inspired by community. Community is the reason that I farm. So these are the reasons that it's so important we start talking about agriculture and what that means for our food pathways inside of our communities. We're going to explore these topics while I'm with you guys as Latrice is away. We'll be going over several different ideas such as prisons and agriculture, right? Remember, shout out to the Mail Center. The number is 512-473-2525. We're going to talk about how agriculture and prisons coincide. You know, what are the connections between mass incarceration and food injustice? How does the removal of one's basic independence, freedom, and human rights affect health by way of food access? What are the people that we love doing while they're incarcerated, you guys? I have so many people that I've met that have talked about how they remember being out doing and participating in agriculture while they were incarcerated. And here are just a couple of facts. We want to put these things into perspective, right? That in 2018, Texas generated an estimated $22 billion in agricultural receipts, you guys. You know, that's a huge number. And in comparison to that, in 2021, the operating budget for the state's correctional system was $3.4 billion. So they have the bodies to grow the food. And it's very important that we think about that and we put that into perspective, right? And I have a quote for you guys in relation to that. The revolution is based on land. Land is the basis of all independence. Land is the basis of freedom, justice, and equality. That's Malcolm X, y'all. We have to get back to the land. We have to remember that the ground we walking on right here in Austin, Texas is important to us, y'all. So call in, call in. Good morning, good morning. The number is 512-836-2887 as we get into these topics, right? How many of our incarcerated brothers and sisters, mothers, fathers, are out here growing our food, yet they have absolutely no access to this trade skill or the resources to build themselves up in agriculture when they return to their communities. And we want to just discuss how that really has affected our communities. You know, we want to talk about missing mothers due to incarceration and how that affects the nutrition that our children find inside of the homes. These are important topics. I get chills when I talk about these things. I get chills when I bring these topics up because I don't hear anybody discussing them. And that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm so excited to be sharing these ideas and opening the floor for us to see how we can make change by paying more attention to our food. We want to pay more attention to the food and where it's coming from and who's growing it, right? And this also leads us into how we want to also salute the men and women that are out there helping, taking care of our kids through youth sports activities. You know, they're out here volunteering their time to keep children fit and healthy while their mothers or fathers or their caregivers are incarcerated. So we want to big up our local youth organizations, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, track. We want to big up all you guys out there, from the Tsunamis to the Yellow Jackets to the Steelers to the Horns. We want to celebrate these teams. We want to bring forth a light and shine that light on how these men and women who volunteer their time with our children are there to help them grow and nourish them, right? And with that, we also want to get those babies out on the farm to volunteer. We want to get their hands in the soil, you guys. So you know, it's so much that the kids can learn around health and wealth, and it starts with growing a seed. It starts with planting the seed and growing the seed inside of our kids, and that's where I think that we need to start. I'm so excited. I feel like I'm going so fast. I feel like I have so much to say. So don't forget to call me, y'all. The number to call in for us is 512-836-2887. And we'll be going to a break here, but I also just want to bring it back to more topics. It's so many things that we can talk about when it comes to local agriculture and growing food. How can we access our local HBCU so that we can get horticulture education or agricultural education for the children and for the communities? You know, we have to open these conversations and open these doors, and I think that this is something we definitely will be doing here in the near future. I was able to sit on a panel for South by Southwest this last weekend, and we definitely shut the panel down. We want everybody to know that we definitely shut the panel down, because at the end of the day, people do not take our food system seriously, and we want that to be at the forefront of the conversation. We want everyone to know that our access to food is oppressed, period. If there are no Black producers, if there are no producers of color, if there's no justice for BIPOC, then we're far behind, you guys. So We are going to talk about all of these things moving forward while I'm here co-hosting Iron Sharpens Iron on 88.7 KAZI. The phone number is 512-836-2887. Give us a call and we will most definitely continue to talk about it. So something else that I think is very important in introducing myself as a farmer is getting back to the history, right? Getting to the history of agriculture. What do we know about our black farms here in Austin, Texas? How many of us know where those farming communities were located? How do we access the information and the knowledge? Where can we find documentation about black farm families? What were they growing? What were the commodities? What were these things that helped build up markets and economic spaces for our communities on the east side of 35 before so many of them were taken away from us? We want to get into all of that. We want to get into it here on Iron Sharpens Iron on 88.7 KAZI as we get ready to head into a break, you guys. We definitely want you to call in. The number again is 512-836-2887. So that's so easy for me to go back to, right? To fill a little time and fill a little space. It's my first time on the radio and I'm super excited. Let me see. Yes, we want to be able to get all of these programs out to the kids so that they can grow and that we can expand this knowledge. There's no knowledge sharing. And this, I want to thank Latrice again for this opportunity because that's what we should be doing and that's what we should see is people opening the doors for regular people who may be anxious about speaking their voice and sharing what it is that they have to say, opening those doors for them and pushing them forward and standing beside them no matter what to say. You can do it. You have a voice. Speak up, speak your mind, and, just get it out there. Nothing, you should not be afraid of anything. Fear is you should have the strength and power and faith the size of a mustard seed. I heard that somewhere growing up. Y'all remember that? Yeah, exactly. So make sure that you guys call us. We're going on break. 88.7 KZI, Iron Sharpens Iron.
Okay. So.
I'm so nervous.
No,
Did I do okay?
You're
Oh my God.
You're
Freaked out.
doing good. So, if no one's calling on what you're talking about, revert to what you talked about before.
Right.
So, go back into your farm.
Yeah.
That's your safe place. You know that front and center. If no one else is calling in to talk about the subject, then just kind of revert back to that because there's nothing wrong in having repeat content as long as there's content there.
Right.
So, if you feel like you're being swallowed up because there's no one calling in, go for what you know. Okay. You're doing
it's
good.
Just those were safe words.
Yeah.
They felt comfortable.
Yeah. But you're doing good. You're doing good. But I want you to have a place that you can just automatically go to.
Right.
Okay, because Dobbin Cobb, you know that.
Yeah.
And so feel free to just ramble into that if you need to, without feeling like you just gotta stay here.
Right.
Because if they hear that you're struggling, they'll hear it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you're doing good. You're doing good.
Well, I most definitely ran out of things on my paper. All right, y'all, over here in the chat. Come on, y'all. I see you. I see you. Love you, Tangray. I need you with Hey. I'm here on the radio. This is all Latrice's fault, huh?
Latrice needs to be on vacation.
She can't help herself. She can't help herself.
Instead of calling in and it's just ringing off the wall.
She needs to be on vacation. Tim says he loves you and you need to be on vacation.
You hear that? You need to be on vacation.
And put big hearts on there for him.
And put heart emojis.
And a smiley face.
And a smiley face.
All right, get ready. We're going back in. Ready. We are. Here we go.
Hey, and welcome back. Welcome back to Iron Sharpens Iron. I'm your co-host, Farmer Nancy, and I am sitting in for your host, Latrice Cook, as she is out on vacation. And we are here to talk about food. We are here to talk about growing food, how to grow food, when to grow food, where to grow food, what food do you want to grow. That is what we are here to talk about. And we're here to talk about how that relates to a lot of the struggles that we have within our communities, right? Because there's a lack of access. We hear these things called food injustice and stuff like that. And so we want to explore what is food injustice. That's when people don't have access to healthy foods. You know, a lot of the foods that people have access to within our communities is corner store food or fast food. There's no access to grocery stores, or even within our community gardens. There's not a lot of people who volunteer at our community gardens, right? We want you guys to get out there and go volunteer. There's some amazing groups of melanated people that have community gardens and do so much wonderful work within our communities just growing food. If you have time, take the kids out to the community gardens. If you have time and you off and you just riding around getting it, just pull up at somebody's community garden and drop a seed. Have a good conversation. These are the conversations that we want to be having within our communities so that we can see the change, right? So Davin Cobb Garden Farm. What is that? Farmer Nancy. Who is she? She's just a local girl from Austin, Texas that grew up playing in the dirt, and everybody says stop. And they should have been saying, get that baby some seeds so she can plant all the food for everybody. It's okay. I caught up. I'm a fast learner, y'all. I caught up quick. I caught up to the game quick. So, and I saw, looking into my community, that our community gardens were dry. You know, they needed to be nourished. They needed to be nurtured. And I saw that there's no support for our community growers, right? There's nobody standing firm in growing food every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I thought to myself, who is that person? What is that? What does that look like? That is a farmer, right? That's a farmer. Farmers wake up and tend to the land. They are land stewards. We do have a caller right now at 8.7. Hi, caller. How you doing? Hey! Thank you for calling us today. Yes, those facts and those statistics are very real. And if you missed them when we talked about them earlier in relation to prisons and agriculture, in 2018, Texas generated an estimated 22 billion in agricultural cash receipts. And in 2021, the operating budget for the state's correctional system was $3.4 billion to be exact. $3,413,163,942. And so when we look at that, that is a very interesting thing to see, right? Because that tells us that they're operating at a high rate. That's a very high number, right? So when we look at the people that are incarcerated and how they do have their hands in the soil. I've had a friend that came over to my farm before just to be able to revisit that, and we spent the day together, and he told me so much about, how he was doing agriculture while he was incarcerated. And before I knew it, we both looked up, and he had furloughed so many of my rows, my in-ground beds were completely finished. So so we need these spaces, and I look at my farm as a safe space, a space for us to grow with each other again, to get to know each other and learn each other again within our communities. And when we talk about our gardens versus the farm, I stand on it that my farm is my farm, and I am a farmer. And the USDA says that you only need to make $1,000 in any space for it to be a farm every year, and that means that I can sell $1,000 worth of produce, and I'm a farm. So, and when we talk, so I feel like pulling people down into trying to hold them into such a small ball. There's nothing wrong with gardeners or people being gardeners or gardening or anything like that. But what we want to do moving forward is have equity in food production. We want to produce farmers. We want to produce big ag. Be inspired to grow and affirm your greatness. Point blank, period. So nobody can tell me that my farm is not a farm, and nobody can tell me that I am not a farmer. So we will definitely stand on that. So, and as I was talking about before, Latrice, we got the call, being able to have someone there standing on the front lines of food 24/7. Those are farmers, people who wake up and breathe and eat growing food, people who wake up and breathe and eat building the soil. And that is what I am. Those are land stewards. That is what we want to raise our children to be. That is most definitely what I'm raising my children to be. So no one would ever be able to take their skill to grow food away from them. And we should get that out there to everybody, every school, every after school program. I myself am going to be connecting with the local schools programs to get the kids over to my farm and work with them that way. And I'm also currently doing the Grow Hard Challenge, B1 Ag, Black First Agriculture, right? And so we are growing 1,000 tomatoes. And so my family is currently right now pulling the tomatoes out of the greenhouse and getting them into our 20, 50-foot beds. And so we're in the process of getting tomato stakes. The kids are learning about fertilizers again, building pollinator habitats, and growing monarch butterflies. That's all we want to do. all spring long. So if you want to bring the babies out to play with butterflies and caterpillars, go ahead on and do that, y'all. It's Farmer Nancy, and we want to start reclaiming your thing right here in Austin, Texas. And we want to grow food. We want to let the city know we will be growing our own food moving forward. Woo! So thank you guys so much. Don't forget to reach out to Melge. The number is 512-473-2525. And we want to let you know that your success is important to us. So please, please always remember that you are not alone out here, and make sure to stop by Diamond Car Garden Farm to get some fresh produce. Thank you guys for having me.
License for the auto, and then it's back on track. And it does everything automatically for now.
Yeah, 'cause, we're gonna have 2 other people come in as well and learn it.
I did it, y'all. I think I did it, y'all. I think I did it, y'all.
Normally that song is sitting there. Not good is that is trying to get the tree side.
Y'all, oh my God.
So it gives her enough. Just so you know what I did. So this song gives enough cushion to get Latrice out. Because even though I'm giving her the one, she'll take an extra minute or two.
Yeah.
And then when I start doing this, like that means we're against the clock. I'm about to cut you off. but I could tell that you were kind of struggling at the end.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of messaged him, was like, hey, I'm about to pull her out at the length of this song.
Yeah.
Just to kind of get her out and everything.
Yeah,
So,
because it's my first time.
yeah. And so,
Y'all were stress testing me.
yeah, I was just
Trying to stress test me. But I think I did good. I think the second part, it was easier to kind of just get into the flow of it and just kind of get a feel for, like you said, go back to the space that I know, and I like to talk about my farm. So I think it went good.
Yeah, and the more you do this, the more you'll expand out.
Yeah.
So don't.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be here next week, y'all. Next Thursday at 9 o'clock. 9:30.
The show is at 9:30.
Okay, the show is at 9:30.
You will be here at 9.
I will be here at 9 o'clock, but the show gonna get started at 9:30. Yes, the Horge Camp will be at my farm. We will be hanging out, and we will be planting tomatoes. We're gonna plant tomatoes till them babies can't plant tomatoes no more. They gonna be like, please, please, don't make plant no more tomatoes, Farmer Nancy. Last time we came to your farm, we just hung out, walked around, and looked at the new space because we had the space. This time, putting y'all to work for real, for real. This time, we shall plant the tomatoes. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. Go follow the Horge Camp, Latoya Horge. And it is a great fitness camp, youth camp for kids. They actually have come down from Kyle to visit me. They be out here processing chickens. Them babies be out here processing chickens over there. They know how to grow, okay? See y'all later. I'm out. Peace.